All right. I don't know why you're wrong.
Ooh, no glasses.
Yeah. So my glasses broke yesterday, and there's no place to get them fixed. What? So, if anyone knows anyone who
My dad snapped his glasses in half also. I mean, he has one spare. He has a spare, thank God, but...
That's a wonderful story. Baruch Hashem for having a spare.
How did it happen?
They're old and they fell, and just the handle of the glasses broke.
You try taping it?
I could tape that. That would make me even look worse than right now. Baruch Hashem for contacts. I do have contacts, so I'm still alive, everyone. Still able to see my notes. Hold on 1 second. We got very loud.
Looks much younger without glasses.
No, I can't. They'll hear the sound machine.
Looks like the old pictures of him.
Oh. Riley, they need you in there. I think he wants to be in here.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to be sad later. Sure. Oh. All right. How's everyone doing today? How we doing?
I'm tired.
Sure.
Tired.
Vasikan's getting earlier and earlier.
Vasikan's getting earlier and earlier. We just switched the clock, so it just got later.
When this started, it was at like 7 o'clock. Now it's like 6:35.
Great. More time to learn.
Depends on when you're learning, but yeah.
Hey, Kobe. It's Hope. Aaron Haas, welcome back. Judah's iPhone. Shalom, whoever you are. Zucker Grossman. Good to see you. Yoni Cement. Shalom. Panel. Razazada. Ooh. Okay. All right. Believe it or not, we are moving on over here. Okay. You ready? Okay, Boker Tov, everyone. We're over here. We're still in the middle of Korech. We talked about last time the little complicated sugya between Hillel and the Rabbanon, and what in the world we do with Korech, what Korech is. Is it just a zecher and it's not really the real thing, or it's more of a real thing, and we take it very seriously? And the Psak and the Mechaber sounds like it's taken very seriously. He brings on the Sefer Amanik that we brought last time. It says, V'achar kacha, I'm just going to read through once again from Korech on page 171. V'achar kach notel matzah shlishis. Ubotzea mimenu v'korech ha'imam morer v'tolu v'charosis. He did it in the charosis. V'yishomrim de'im v'tavlo. V'chinim minahagim v'chin raisi nohagim. V'omer zecher l'mikdash kehilel. That we're going to come back to in 1 second. V'ochlam v'yachad v'aseba. U'k'sheberach al chilas matzah lo yasyach b'davar she'ena minin asuda. Ad she'yochel krichazu. Do not make any hefsekos until you have eaten this kricha. Okay? That's how we said we pass. We want the bracha of the achilas matzah and the achilas maror also to fall at this. And therefore, we take this shita seriously. What we do in our house is, we don't want to be matzah during this time, and a lot of people don't know this halacha. So we are makpid to go ahead and give out all the mitzvahs of the night. They have enough of matzah. They have enough of matzah for motzi matzah and korech, and enough more for motzi matzah and korech. And there you have your kazesim already, And therefore, when you make your achilas matzah, you can do your achilas matzah. Take the 2-3 minutes, eat your achilas matzah, go straight to maror, eat your kazayis maror, and then go straight to korech, and then you can go do this all in one sitting without having to have a whole big break in between. Pass around the matzahs again, pass around the maror again. Do we use charosas? Do we not use charosas? Explain all the halachas before you get up to wash for urchatz. Explain all the halachas beforehand and what to do in order not to have a hefsek between achilas matzah and korech. Now, Morin Rabbeinu Rav Nebenzahl brings down that really lechatchila you're not even supposed to make a hefsek between bracha of motzi matzah of achilas matzah until you eat afikomen. Okay, that is a gigantic chumrah that I don't know if you're ready for yet. Okay, but that's Rav Nebenzahl is very makbid. He just goes to sleep during this time a lot of times during the Seder. He goes for Shulchan Aruch, and he gets up for Tzafun. Okay, whatever. You're allowed to talk even according to this. Okay, we generally don't have these halachas too often because you do make the bracha and then you eat. Okay, so you don't have to worry about what you're allowed to say or you're not allowed to say. But really the halacha is you're allowed to say anything me'inyan what you're about to do. So therefore, very interesting. Rav Nebenzahl is a very interesting ha'ara over here. In Dir Masal Lo Yasiach, he says the following. Remember, we make 2 brachas al achilas matzah. You have hamotzi and al achilas matzah. He says in terms of that bracha of al achilas matzah, anything you say that's connected to the matzah is not going to be a hefsek in that. Anything in terms of hamotzi, anything that's connected to the su'udah is going to be fine for the birkas hamotzi. Therefore, technically, if you said something that is connected to the su'udah, in between the bracha of achilas matzah and hamotzi, you would have to go back and make another al achilas matzah because you have made a hefsek in that, but you would not have to make another hamotzi because it's not as hefsek in the hamotzi, it's just a hefsek in the achilas matzah. Okay, anyways, that's a couple of interesting things from Morein Rabbeinu Rav Nebenzahl over here. And you can look in the bracha and then Dir Masal Lo Yasiach. Now, we said another thing is we say the Omer Zecher LeMikdash Kehela. You're supposed to say this paragraph called the Zecher LeMikdash Kehela. Comes the Bir Halacha, and he says the problem. If we just made a big deal like the Sefer HaManik told us not to make a hefsek between the bracha and the achila of korech, why are we saying this whole meimar of Zecher LeMikdash Kehela? Isn't that going to be a hefsek also? No, Givaldik Kasha asks the Bir Halacha. Okay? So inside the Bir Halacha, the Merzel Zecher LeMikdash. Kasha. Hello, Amir Zuhavi Hesek mein bracha lekricha. Oh, this Amira is a Hesek between the bracha and the actual al of korech. V'amechar b'atzim esayim shem ulasiach. V'chulei kedei shetala birkas achila in order that the achilas matzah, the bracha goes in the korech. So why are we saying this whole thing of Zecher LeMikdash Kehela? Okay, and he says v'docha glory de Amir Zumein mi inna suda kmo tal brach. It's hard to say this is part of the Seudah that you could say, like, pass the salt when it comes to Hamotzi. He says, Ube'emes, says the Bir Halacha, lo matzati lishun posek, hai lishna shirkat mechaber. I have not found in the poskim this lashon that the mechaber brings down. The mechaber seems to have made it up. Rakotu the kricha zu zecher lemikdash. You look at the poskim and say, the kricha is zecher lemikdash, but they don't say to say zecher lemikdash when you're doing it. So it seems like you made it up. So how can we go ahead and do this when this is going to cause us to have a hefsek? He says over here, skipping one line, Velulei de Mistafina, the lashon of Velulei de Mistafina, Choba is basically saying, like, and not really cholek. I'm afraid to say, but if I was not so afraid that I would tell you the following chiddush that maybe is correct. Velulei de Mistafina. Have a mina to tzarech lomer of a mechaber, v'tov lebecharos is zeichel lemikdash kehelo. It's not to say you're supposed to be omer zeichel lemikdash kehelo. Rather, v'tovla b'charosa zeichel lemikdash kehelo, without the word of the omer. He's just telling you why we do it. And it's not supposed to say the amira. Based on this Bir Halacha, Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, you look in his Agada, page 194, that the Rav Shlomo Zalman is makted to say the amira of zeichel lemikdash kehelo only after he eats the korech. Only after he eats the korech, because he's choshish for this Bir Halacha who does not go ahead and do this. How many in your family only say the Zeicher LeMikdash Kehelo only after eating the korech? Who here says it before eating the korech? Lots of hands. Who here doesn't say it at all? Okay, Some people don't want to share what they do, or they don't know what they do. Okay, well, this year you'll pay attention to what you do. Most people say it before, like the Pashtus, the Mechaber, that's what's written in all the Haggadahs, not like Rosh Hashanah. Comes Moreno V'Rabbeinu Rav Nebenzahl, if you look in his Haggadah. Okay? If you look in his Haggadah, actually it's also over here, Dibra Maskell Hefsek. He says, I'm minhag de lo k'mishnah berurah. He says over here, the minhag's not like the Bir Halacha, right? Right over here. The minhag is to say, why are we going to do this? Just say it after. What's the benefit of saying it right now? You hear, Jakey? Yeah, the kasha. What's the benefit of saying it right now? Answers the Marino of Merzel. Because if you don't go out and say Zecher L'Mikdash, you might come to think that when you're doing Korach, you're actually fulfilling the mitzvah of matzah right now. The Yavor al Isser Bal Tosef. And maybe you're going to be over the Isser of Bal Tosef. And therefore, just like if you remember a couple weeks ago, when we were still in yeshiva, we had the whole shiur about Machzah Shekel, right? We did the Machzah Shekel. We didn't do Machzah Shekel. We did Zecher LeMachzah Shekel. We were making when we take the Machzah Shekel, say Zecher LeMachzah Shekel, do not think that we're actually doing a mitzvah. Okay, we're not doing a mitzvah, we're doing a Zecher. So too, Rav Nebenzahl says you have to be makpid before actually eating the korech to remind yourself you're not actually fulfilling the mitzvah of matzah right now. You're doing Zecher LeMikdash Kehillel. And yes, we want the bracha to go on it because to remember what Hillel used to do, but we want to do the Amira before, and that's how Moreno Rabbeinu Rav Nebenzahl is knowing. Interesting machlokas between the Rebbe and the Talmud over here, what to do if we foul this Bir Halacha and say it afterwards, or don't say it at all, or to do it actually like most of God is praying to go ahead and do it at the beginning like most families go ahead and do. Okay, so even though we have an interesting Bir Halacha, L'maisa, it seems to be the minhag in Klal Yisrael is to follow the psak of the Shulchan Aruch to say the Zecher L'Mikdash Kehillel before. We have now finished Korech. Now we get to a bunch of side issues that are interesting. A lot of them not so L'maisa. We'll go through them pretty quickly over here, based through Vav, and then we'll finish off the Siman Be'ezrat Hashem Siv Zayin is a very, very interesting, important din. So, yes, Arizal.
If Ravami gives out all of the things before and all of the mitzvahs before and intimately explains all of them, why couldn't we just basically say the Zecher L'Mikdash Kehillel beforehand also? Like we clarified, there's not Baltosif, it's all a Zecher, but you sort of be Mekayim it before you
it is meaning it. It's like saying, I'm allowed to say pass the salt also to say Amotzi, but L'Chadchila, we don't do that. Okay, but the evidence, we don't want to do it. We could better to explain this before and not in between the bracha and we do this in order to make sure that we say the Zecher L'Mikdash Kehillel. But to start explaining all this, and if that's the best thing for the Seder, go ahead and do that if you need to do that. But that's only L'Chadchila is not the best thing to do halachically. But if you're right, if you don't think people are going to know what you're talking about, if you're standing in Urchatz right now and you're telling them a korech, they don't even know a korech. It's okay to go ahead and do it like you said. Okay. Maybe I am overestimating our guests that are Suda. Okay, I don't know. That's real. Hopefully this year we'll understand a little bit. Okay, let's go. They're not going to have any other guests, unfortunately. Everyone's having a nuclear family Suda this year. Days. In Ein Lo Yerakos Ibori Shalom. We mentioned this din once before. The Gemara in Gaf Kuftes Vavu Beis tells us that if you only have one Yerak, you only have Maror. You have to do 2 tibles. So you're going to dip the Maror for Karpas, and then you're going to also get it for during Maror later on. So the question is, what's the Iker Maror now? What's the Iker Maror? When are you actually Mekayim the Mitzvah Maror? When you do it at Karpas at the beginning because you're having it for the first time? Or are you going to Mekayim your Mitzvah when you have Maror? Okay, it's not so Lamais because generally you have what to eat. I don't know, maybe this year we're not going to have what to eat. You only have Maror. I don't know. Okay, Bezrat Hashem, now we'll have what to have for Karpas. Okay, we have what to have for Karpas. But this year, the year that you didn't have it, you only had Maror. You forgot to buy the Karpas, you only have Maror. What do you do? Okay, there's 3 nafkaminas in this. What's the Iker time? Number 1 is, we said before, really, Lechatchila, we don't do like the rush, only bidiyah, but we either try and eat a kazayis. When would you have to make sure you eat a kazayis in order to fulfill your mitzvah of alachilas Maror? Number 2 is, which time are you going to dip in the charoses? We dip in the charoses only when you're mekayim your mitzvah of Maror. Okay, maybe both of them this time if it's because we're afraid that there's poison in it, like we said before. You probably don't want poison, even if you have it for karpas either. Okay? And most importantly, when you're supposed to mechavein that you're yotzei the mitzvah of mar. Says the mechaber over here in Ein Lo Yirakos L'Tibul Rishon Elo Mar. Yivarach Alav L'Tibul Rishon. You're going to make the bracha on Tibul Rishon. That's for sure. Everyone's going to agree you're going to make the bracha the first time. But some say that even if you hold the second one's the ikr, you still have to make the bracha the first time. It's not nice to eat maror without making the bracha. Yivarach Alav L'Tibul Rishon B'rei Pri Adama V'alachilas maror U'B'Tibul Hasheni Yitbelenu B'Charoses V'Yochlenu B'li Bracha. Mashma from the mechaber, the ikr eating is really, though you're going to eat it later on at maror. You technically have to say the bracha now, but you're going to make your mitzvah later on. However, says the Mishnah Bros, Sikatin Kavches, Vida, 3 lines down, the Hari Posim Chokinozeh. Uladidu Tfei Adiv Bazel Chavin Bachilas Maror Harishon Lekayim Mitzvahs Maror. To Mekayim the first time to Mekayim your Mitzvah Maror. Came Mishim Varach as a Sher Kedishanu, because you're making the bracha Sher Kedishanu, Zano, Alachilas Maror, to actually have Kavanah your Mekayim Mitzvah Maror, which is going to become a funny thing in this time. You're going to Mekayim your Mitzvah, according to the Mishnah Bro, you're going to Mekayim your Mitzvah Maror well before Matzah, already at Karpas, you're going to be filling your Mitzvah Maror. Siv Gimel. Also, all these are directly from the Gemara. Bala matzah yatsa. If you just swallow your matzah without chewing it, you're going to be yotze. Avalim bala maror lo yatsa. If you just swallow the maror, you are not going to be yotze. Because the difference in matzah maror, the tam maror ba'inin v'leika. Because you actually taste the bitterness of the maror. You have to have tam maror v'leika. If you just swallow it without going through your taste buds, you're not going to swallow it. I just got a shiur today. Someone, unfortunately, an alumni, he told me he has coronavirus, but a very mild case, Baruch Hashem. A very mild case of coronavirus, to the point, to extent what his symptoms are, he can't taste anything or smell anything. Okay? I don't know. I didn't see these are the symptoms of coronavirus. This is what the Metzias he told me. Does he still make brachas on things? Good child. Good child. You still make brachas. He doesn't taste anything. I said, Mamish, you have a chocolate bar or spinach, you taste the same? He said, it tastes the same, except for texture. We can tell texture. Both have no taste to it. Okay? Good child, you still make brachas? Stay tuned to the Q&A chat. We'll see what Nemitz have to say about this. Okay, Bala Matzah Yatzav and Bala Mar Yatzav the Damar Abayim V'leik. V'afilu im Bala Matzah umarur ke'echad. Even if you swallow, you take matzah and maror, and you swallow them both together, Yedei Matzah Yatzav, Yedei Mar Lo Yatzav, just like we said before. Matzah, you're going to be yotzei. Maror, you're not going to be yotzei. V'im krachav b'sivu v'lo. But if you wrap it in some type of leaf, you put the matzah wrapped in a leaf, that's something that means mafsik between your throat and the matzah, and you swallow the leaf with the matzah inside of it. After you matzah lo yatsa, you're not going to be yotzi. Matzah in this case, the fish ain't derech achila bekach. Since it's not a derech, you have to have an achila of matzah. Swallowing something is derech achila. But to wrap it in a wrapper and then swallow, that's not derech achila bekach, and therefore you're not biyotze matzah in this case. Now, what would happen if Lamaisa, someone eats his matzah, but he also had too much to drink before then, and he ends up throwing up right after Achilas matzah? Are you yotzei your mitzvah matzah or not? You ate it, but you threw it up. So the Minchas Chinuch is done by this, and he says that all you really needed is Hanas Garon. You need Hana for your throat, and Lamaisa, you ate a kazayis matzah through your throat, you are going to be yotzei. And that same Maisa I told you one time about Rav Nebenzahl, that was the Maisa. That was the Shaili asked Rav Nebenzahl. He had too much to drink. He threw up over Rav Nebenzahl's balcony, and he came back and wanted to know if he had to eat another kazayis matzah. And Lamaisa, Rav Nebenzahl told him he did not have to eat another kazayis matzah. He was yotzei Baruch Hashem, and that night went on. Daled. So we all know that we paskin on. We don't know. In Siman Samach, we paskin that mitzvos srichos kavod. You have to have a kavanah l'shem mitzvah. If you don't have kavanah l'shem mitzvah, you're not going to be yotzei. So that's connected to this shiloh over here. What if someone shoves matzah down your throat? Okay? He shoves matzah down your throat. Are you going to be yotzei? Says the Mechab. Achol matzah below kavanah. If you eat matzah without kavanah. Kigon shanasua nachrim olistin lechol. Some guy came to your house and started taking the manashevitz and shoving it down your mouth. Okay? Yotzi yidei chavasa. You're still yotzi yidei chavasa, which is against what I said before. I said before, mitzvah srilas kavanah. This you do not have. Why is this? Since he knows tonight is really Pesach, and he's chayv b'chilas matzah, Aval in summer shuchol, but if he didn't know it was Lel Pesach, and someone shoves matzah down his throat, oh she'ain zo matzah, or he thought it's not matzah, he didn't know what matzah was, and someone shoves the matzah down his throat, lo yotze, then he's not going to be yotze. But the fact that he has awareness that tonight is Pesach, and he has awareness that this is matzah, and he knows he has to be mekayim the mitzvah with matzah, even though right now when it's shoving down his throat, he's not thinking l'shem mitzvah. He says over here, Memela, he is going to be Yotzei his Kovan. Says mitzvah. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Kan Lamadal, explaining further. Says, the mitzvah, even though we paskin mitzvah Sriyos Kovan, Kedil Al Simin Samach Siv Dalit. Vikol Shekain Hachoi, Dena Rotz Lechol. Over here, you would think it's even worse. He doesn't even, it's worse. He has negative Kovan. He doesn't want it. Hayuvade Mischai L'Teis Yidei Mitzvah. Tertzo Mefarshim. Something that is food, that about korchach, his garon gets enough from it. Adiv tvei, this is better. Mikim miskavin davin. It's like he is miskavin. Since he's getting enough from the matzah, and he knows tonight you have to eat matzah anyways, even though he wasn't having kavanah right now, says it's like he has kavanah, and therefore he's yotzei. Okay? This is not the portion, as the Mr. Burke continues. Now, when the poskim hold, they're cholik and they hold. Some don't like this chilik between food and other things. Sounds like the Mr. Burke is cholik on this. And therefore, if your older brother takes the matzahs here and shoves it down your throat, you don't even need enough kazayas. You got to have more, and he shoves more and more down your throat, and you don't want it. So you're not going to be yotzi, says the Mishnah Berurah. In that case, you would have to actually eat another kazayas afterwards, and that's how he paskins halacha l'maisa. Okay, fine. That's how we pass it halacha l'maisa over here. That we are choshesh for this. There's an interesting machlokas over here. Brought down Moreno Rabbeinu Merzel. What happens if someone doesn't believe in mitzvos? Okay, he knows that the Jews celebrate Pesach and they eat this unleavened bread on Lel Pesach, but he doesn't believe in any of this. He doesn't believe in any of this, but he's at someone's seder and he eats the matzah. And then after what, he starts thinking and he says, you know what? This whole Agada thing, Pesach thing, this all makes sense. And all of a sudden he's mekabel on himself mitzvahs now. Was he mekayim the first time mitzvahs matzah when he didn't believe in the mitzvahs? Look inside Moreno Rabbeinu Rav Nevinzal over here. Dear Rasulbam, the Hainu Sha'anoah Shebachilo Miyacheses Amaisai Lab. He's extended according to the first opinion. Das Mechaber. They're yotze when they force the matzah down your throat. He says that the eating is like his maisa, that shows his maisa, the fact that he eats it and then it's like kavanah. And according to this, he says, even if you don't believe in mitzvos, you're still going to be yotze, says the Talmud of the Chavetz Chaim. Rav Elchanan Vassar Hashem Yinkom Damo was killed in the Holocaust. Rav Elchanan holds even if he's a non-believer, he's also going to be yotze. Says no Roy nor Rabbeinu Rav Nevin Savalani has daiti Nirshitzer Laxer Blechol. I think he has to go back. Later on, eat it again. Last year, Yaxer B'Tshuva Yami, after he was Choser B'Tshuva, he starts believing in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sharei lo titaking mitzvah mitzvah. It can't be, says Rav Nevin Sal, that you become a kind of mitzvah without someone who command. If you don't believe in the commandment of the mitzvah in the first place, if you don't believe in mitzvahs, you don't believe in Torah Mishamayim, you don't believe in God. Okay, you don't believe there's a creator who commanded the mitzvahs, so mitzvahs are worthless. They're nothing. It doesn't matter the fact that you're mechaving for the mitzvah. If you don't believe in the mitzvah, it can't be a mitzvah over here, and therefore he says it's pasha. The person is not yotzei, and he would have to go ahead and eat another kazais. That's what Rav Nevin Sal believes over here. In this, in terms of maror. If this would happen with mother, we have more room to be makel, says the Bir Alacha, Dirasa lo yatsa, his ayim b'chol yankiv the daita the b'marer, afim lo yadashu mar, even if you don't know it's mar, or shu savar shu chol, he thinks it's Erev Pesach, not Pesach, gam ken yatsa, he's going to be yotzei. Because we paskin alach l'maisa and simen samich that by mitzvahs deraisa mitzvahs tzrichos kavana, by mitzvahs derabana mitzvahs ain't tzrichos kavana, and therefore since we said nowadays that the mar is only derabana and only the matzahs deraisa, therefore this whole shayla is only by matzah. By mitzvah derabanan, one can be mekel. Matthew, what's so funny?
My brothers are being very distracting.
What?
Distracting brothers.
Oh, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna force the matzah down your throat. You're not gonna know what to do.
Exactly. I'm taking notes, and they're trying to distract me.
Mara derabban. Mara's derabban. Okay? Mara's derabban won't give you make. Hey, Sifei. He eats matzah in the time where he went out of his mind. He doesn't have das. Okay? He became crazy. He eats the matzah during this time, in the middle of Seder, so he took his medicines, and he's now well better. Okay, he's got little das. He considered a normal person again. Was he yotze the first time he ate his matzah? He is chayiv to eat again after he becomes healed. When someone is crazy, he's patur min mitzvahs, and therefore, if he ate the matzah when he was in a state of craziness, he was not yotze, and therefore he's going to have to eat him. He took his medicines now, and now he has das solul. He's going to have to go ahead and re-eat his medicines. Okay, for all you guys, I don't know if you don't down your Ritalin, it could be that. What's your das? What's your das level? Then I'm not sure, but hey, yes, Ellie.
Is getting drunk like on the? Is that considered
If
getting?
someone's in a
crazy?
certain state of drunkenness, yes, he's got to get pretty drunk if he's going to be that drunk where he's not going to have das for the mitzvah. He's going to be that. But if he was that drunk, then ain't a chanami. He's got to. That guy should have grape juice. Let me tell you. Okay, Vav. If one eats a chatzi zayis of matzah, then he eats another chatzi zayis of matzah, he's yotze. We talked about yesterday how much time you have to eat. You're allowed to eat. You don't have to have it all in your mouth at the same time. But you have to have a shiur, and that is kedei achilas pras. Once again, it's somewhere between 2 to 3 minutes to 9 to 10 minutes. If you can do it between 2 to 3 minutes, all the better. Okay? If you need more time, so you need a little bit more time in order to be yotze your mitzvah. Now moving on to Ziv Zayin. We are going to skip the Ramah. The Ramah is very complicated, and it's not halach l'maisa what exactly he's talking about. And Matthew Ganch is very something. I'm hilarious today. Ziv Zayin says the following. Over here. Ein chiyuv achilas matzah. That's on the recording, Matthew. Achilas can be better for the shidduchim. Ein chiyuv achilas matzah. I'm going to forward these. When people call me about shidduch, I'm just going to forward these shiurim. Look at how serious they take shiur. There is only a chiyuv of achilas matzah only the first night of Pesach. Okay, only the first night of Pesach. That's when you have a chiyuv to eat matzah. Okay, now. There are those who hold that this is only by the first kazayis or yotzi mitzvah, and there are those who hold every kazayis that you eat on Leil Rishon is its own mitzvah. Every matzah you can eat, it's all its own mitzvah. It's a kiyah mitzvah. You have a chiyuv mitzvah on the first kazayis, and you're mekayim another mitzvah. Every kazayis you eat more. It happens to be for you b'nei chutzar. So the Ramah does tell us that on the first night don't eat too much matzah, in order that the next night you're toy for lechol matzah. You still have a te'avon to matzah on the second night, so you're not supposed to go overboard on the first night with matzah, and anyways because of the second night. Okay, but because of this shita, I wanted to explain a minhag of my grandfather. Okay, but I never understood it, but there was a minhag of my grandfather that was since because my father didn't take it on, and therefore in the Renanzal you don't have to. And that is my grandfather was makbid on gebrux only on the first night. Only on the first night he was makbid on gebrux. The rest of the time not, which seemingly is a little silly because you're makbid on what's gebrux. Gebrux is for some reason, even though the Gemara says differently, people are choshesh that if your matzah gets mixed with water, it's going to come to be machbet. It's going to turn to chametz. That's why those who are makbid they will never let any water touch their matzah. They won't have matzah pizza, okay, because the liquid's touching it. They don't know. That's the idea of gebrux, which many chassidim hold. I'll tell you that. But if you're choshesh that it's chametz, what's the difference between the first day and the next 6 days after this? Okay, the last day some are making on gebrux. That makes sense because the last day Pesach's really over. We're choshesh for Yom Tov Sheni Shel Goliath. Okay, that makes sense. But the first night, not the rest of the night. So it could be based on this minhag. I thought to say maybe is the reason for. Did anyone else have this minhag? First night, no gebrux. The rest of the days they eat gebrux. Okay. I'll still be Asher, my grandfather. My grandfather perhaps held, or whoever he got the minhag was, held that since the first night you're Mekayim, according to this Shita, that you're Mekayim a mitzvah, and every kazayis you eat, if you go ahead and eat shruya, you didn't eat korbrux, by the time you're Mavatal a mitzvah because you're not eating pure matzah. And they didn't want to Mekayim Mavatal a mitzvah on the first night, and therefore they would go ahead and eat macro. That's maybe the issue. 1 second, Judah. We'll just finish up the last halacha over here, and that is like this. What about the rest of the Pesach? Says the Mechaber, skipping the Ramah. The Afalai, he says Afalai Rishon Yotzei B'Kazayis. You're going to be Yotzei also with just a Kazayis. Now, Pashtus of the Mechaber, first night you Mekayim a mitzvah. Rest of the days, you want to eat matzah, great. You don't have to eat matzah, you don't have to matzah. You want to have a suda, great. But you're not Mekayim a mitzvah by eating matzah the rest of the days of Pesach. However, the famous Shittas Agra brought down in Siv Katan, Memhei in our Mishnah Berurah says, Ubeshem Agra Katu, Dal Kolpanim Mitzvah Iko Lechol Matzah Kol Shiva. There's a mitzvah to eat matzah every 7 days of Pesach. Even though we're not going to make a bracha about achilas matzah every day of the 7 days of Pesach, but you're Mekayim a mitzvah when you eat a kazayis matzah the rest of the day. Ela sheino chiyuv. It's not a chiyuv, but you're Mekayim a mitzvah, as the Avnei Nezer also points out, like the Gra, Sdumya to Leil Sukkos. Okay, the first night of Sukkos, we learn a Gzeira Shabbat Tezvav. People don't know, you have a chiyuv of achilas kazayis of bread, Leil Sukkos, like we have a chiyuv of achilas kazayis of matzah, Leil Pesach. So they flip it around over here. They say, just like you're Mekayim a mitzvah when you eat in the sukkah all 7 days, even though you're not required to. Okay, technically you get out of eating in a sukkah, you know, only snacks all day long, and you get yourself. But you're Mekayim a mitzvah every time you eat in the sukkah. Every time you go to the sukkah, it's a Mekiyah mitzvah. Says the Gra, Avnei Nezer, who adin on Pesach. People don't know this, but you have your matzah and cream cheese sandwich Chalamoid morning for breakfast. According to the Gra, you're Mekayim a Kiyum mitzvah v'achilas matzah all 7 days. Now, if you want to Mekayim this mitzvah that you didn't know about up until now, if you want to Mekayim this mitzvah, 2 things. Number 1 is you got to put the Manischewitz away. Non-shmura matzah, you're not going to be yotzei. Just like you need shmura matzah, the yotzei or mitzvah the first night. If you want this kiyah mitzvah, you need shmura matzah every time you're going to have a kazayas. And this is why many are makbid here in Eretz Yisrael to only eat shmura matzah on Pesach in order that they can mekayim this din. Okay? Non-shmura matzah, you cannot be mekayim this din. Number 2 is, you have to be aware of this gra that you're a Mekayim a mitzvah, at least specific. Not everyone holds like this gra, but the Mishnah Berurah does bring it down. You can Mekayim this din by fulfilling this gra, by having in mind to Mekayim your mitzvah over here. Even though we do not make a bracha on this kiyah mitzvah, you are Mekayim the mitzvah in the end of the day. Bezrat Hashem, we will continue from here. Still more great things to come. We'll talk about next time about what we're going to move to Shulchan Aruch, what foods you're allowed to eat, and whatnot. Leil Seder Ad Kan. Okay, we'll take questions. And Tal Kramer has his hand up.
In Sif Vav, the Mechaber is saying that if you eat half a kazayas and half a kazayas, you're yotzei as long as you eat it in Kidei Achilas Pras.
Yes.
What's he trying to tell us? Like, isn't this just like the halacha that if you eat a kazayas and Kidei Achilas Pras, you're yotzei?
Yes, he didn't tell us that yet.
Oh, he didn't.
We discussed it when we were talking about the size of how much you have to eat. You also have to eat Kidei Achilas Pras, but over here is the first time the Mechaber is talking about it. Judah Samuels, you had a question before, if you're still here? No longer here. Not so important. Reuven Sim is on the move.
Thank you, Ravami.
Thank you.
Rob, can I ask a good question?
Yes, Akiva.
I think Ravami mentioned before that Reb Nevental goes to sleep so that he doesn't have to be mafsik.
I don't know for sure that's just a mitzias. Many times he sleeps in this time, but yes.
Wouldn't sleeping be a hefsek though?
Sleeping be a hefsek. Not necessarily. Depends. Maybe he's not really sleeping. In terms of Ari Zucker's question, if you're still here, Ari, If people aren't from Seder, not all from people are kofar, baker, and the mitzvahs. If they don't really believe in anything, so it could be that they're according to themselves not really such a benefit. But most people are not like that. They just are not religious because they were brought up that way or because they like to do averos. Not because they actually thought about it.
I thank you, Rami.
You're welcome. Yes.
Bro.
Welcome. Is that a hand?
God.
No.
Bro,
Yes,
Have a
Ruben.
great day.
Is it halacha l'maisa that someone would force matzah down someone else's throat? Is that like a thing that happened?
I know you're from Houston. You would never think about that someone would do something so cruel. But back in the day, there were goyim that did very cruel things to Jews. This was the least of them.
They were at the Seder?
That's what it says. And now he walked in the house. Yeah, you Jews and your matzah. And he took the matzah and he shoved it down his throat.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. It's bringing the principle, the matter to understand. A lot of halachas are not there for this practical, but the principle tells us something.
Ravami.
Yes, yeah. Hey, Huddy.
Hi. If one wanted to fulfill the eating of matzah every day, right? Could he, like according to the Gra, could he have something on it
Yes.
and it's totally fine?
Yes. We really can't be fine. Well, Seder, we don't like to do that. But other times you can put your cream cheese, you can put the butter on it. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
How's Moshe Nussbaum, Shia?
Great. We still learn like every night.
Awesome.
It's great.
Awesome.
Oh, Rob, one more question.
Yeah.
You said about the if you only have one maror because there was no karpas, you should make the bracha first and then eat it later.
Yeah. No, you eat it now, and then you eat it again later in order to fill.
But you only have one. I thought the whole point was that you only.
No, you have enough. You bought a lot of romaine lettuce, but you didn't have any celery.
So you should do it both instead of one. You may have thought to do only one, but you do both.
What?
You may have thought to only do it during maror, but it tells us you should also do it during karpas or something. That's what it's saying.
You make the bracha at karpas because it wouldn't be nice to eat maror without making the bracha on maror. That's what the Gemara tells us. And the Mechaber holds us that now it becomes the ikar echilas maror that night is right then. And like his haircut, guys?
But what if you only have a kazayas? You can't do it both.
What?
What if you only have a kazayas of lettuce? You can't do it on maror.
Nice. So you probably say, when do you eat it? The Gemara might talk about it. I believe that you eat it at karpas. No. I'm not sure. If you only have one kazayas, maybe you leave it for maror.
Ravami, could I ask a separate chametz type of question?
Okay, you could ask the question, Eddie.
So my mom wanted to know, we have all these Ziploc bags that, for whatever reason, she needs like to put like Pesach foods in, and they're like the containers that Ziploc bags come in.
I know them very well. Yes.
All right, good. So the bags are all still closed, but the container is open. And over the last, let's say, a few weeks, people have taken Ziploc bags out of there, but the bags are all still closed and it's in the box, and we can't buy new ones. And maybe it's possible to find, but they definitely would prefer that no one like goes to the supermarket just to get Ziploc bags. Could we keep it over Pesach?
In this situation, you keep it over Pesach. You just go through them to make sure that no brown breadcrumbs fell in and stuff like that. Maybe to take a cloth and even a dry cloth and just shake them out and stuff like that.
Okay, fine. Shkach.
Okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. What do you have to say about this?
Nice haircut.
What do you have to say? Shiur? Can you give Shiur?
All right, fine.
Thank you, Rob.
Have a good day, Ravami.
Thank you.
Have a
Rob.
great day, guys. Enjoy Shiur.
Bye.
And